These are my two audience members today. And Bentley.
Hi guys. The topic that I chose to talk about today is the benefits of stretching and a couple different types of stretching. I chose to talk about this topic because I've played soccer pretty much my whole life, and so throughout that I've become very familiar with the certain types of stretching, the benefits of stretching, and exactly why we stretch what we do, depending on the exercise or the sport that you play. So pretty much we all know that stretching is to reduce injury, and you do that before exercise to loosen up your muscles so they're ready to endure on the exercise that you're about to do. The more detailed version of that is that stretching boosts circulation by elongating skeletal muscles. That pretty much means that it increases your range of motion, your flexibility, and your energy levels. So before and after, you want to make sure that your energy levels remain consistent, and that pretty much means that after a game, you stretch the way you do so that you're relaxed and that your muscles are ready to perform the next day for practice or going to the gym or whatever. So the first stretch that I have listed is static stretching. This is pretty much performed before you work out, say at the gym, or after a match. I would normally do static stretching at halftime, or even on the field. If something felt tight, I would do some static stretching, and we would always do it after the game. So this stretch should normally be held for about 30 seconds, and this is an example of a static stretch. It's called the quad stretch. So it's pretty much just you're working one muscle, you're stretching that out. The next one that I have is dynamic stretching, and this stretching is performed before a game. Repeated motions to gain mobility and range of motion is what this stretch entitles. So we do this stretch before a game to start the blood flow. We do about 8 to 10 different stretches. One example is high knees. And so these stretches, we would go down to the line and come back. And like I said, we did about 8 to 10, so it took about probably 10 minutes. And we would work up a sweat from this, so it got us ready to perform in our game. And they actually didn't find out that dynamic stretching was more beneficial than static stretching before a game, I think until around like 1950s or something like that. Passive stretching is the next stretch that I have. This stretch you can use a device or a body weight or even a partner. So we did this stretch after a hard game. At our recovery practice, we would use a partner to help stretch the muscles that maybe we couldn't stretch as well by ourselves. And this just helps relax the muscle. This is actually called the groin stretch. And this just helps relax your muscles, which is why we did it after games. The last one that I have is active stretching. So this is pretty much a special form of static stretching. It will relax the muscles that you're trying to stretch by using other muscles to initiate the stretch. So active stretching, here is an example. This is called a low lunge. So like I said, it's kind of like a form of static stretching, but it just uses other muscles to perform the stretch. Okay, so the overall benefits of stretching, I have a couple major ones that I just have listed. So it increases oxygen flow, it loosens your muscles, prevents injury obviously, better range of motion like I had stated before, and it eliminates cramping and promotes blood circulation, which is why you do dynamic stretching before you're about to run up and down a field, because you want to have blood flow before you get in there, or you'll feel very tight and unprepared for the game. Thanks, guys.